He just shot a guy. Could you please just get the ambulance? You ain't seen no ambulance out here. Kiss my brother.
Rescue will not come if you guys are all out here being hostile. You need to step back. Guys, back on the sidewalk. Back on the sidewalk. Back to the sidewalk, please. Thank you.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No police, no ambulance shit. They done shot the man. Ain't no ambulance came. Y'all, he talking about he can't call MS to everybody get out the road. They done shot the man in the house. Yeah.
They knew what they was doing when they came.
Y'all see them all, but it ain't friendly no more, man. It's safe no more for nothing. If you don't click up yourself, y'all, it ain't safe. Ain't nobody protecting nobody's self, man. You gotta click up your own. That's why we gotta mount up, man. Look at this. That's why there ain't no protection out here, man. They shot that man in his own house. Talking about he a threat in his house. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. The ambulance ain't even here yet. The ambulance just starting to come. It been 30 minutes. I done walked to the store when I heard it and walked to the store and back. They never here.
Steve.
Welcome. The Untold Crime Chronicles. There is power in the word. What you're hearing right now is not just noise. It's the sound of a community in shock. The kind of fear that makes your stomach twist. Voices crying out, "That's crazy. No police, no ambulance. They done shot the man and left him there." And you can feel the anger in their tone because 30 long minutes passed with no sign of help, no medic running, no sirens screaming, just silence and heavy boots on the pavement. Imagine standing there, looking at the house where a man has just been gunned down, not in a back alley, not during some standoff with strangers, but in his own home, the very place that should have been his safest ground. Neighbors saying he was shot, and the officers blocking off the road telling the crowd, "No rescue will come if y'all keep being hostile." But how can you not be hostile when you just watched someone in your neighborhood killed right before your eyes? How can you stand calm when the only thing you see is blood and stillness and the sound of crying families? One witness said, "I walked all the way to the store and came back, and the ambulance still hadn't arrived." 30 minutes of waiting, 30 minutes of life slipping away, 30 minutes of unanswered pleas. And in that pain, some turn to Scripture, Jeremiah 9:21. "Death has climbed in through our windows. It cuts off the children from the streets. Young men fall like harvest. No one gathers." And the truth is, that's exactly what it looked like. Death entering a Florida home and leaving silence in its place. This was Broward County, Florida. Another black man shot down, another father gone, another community left with nothing but questions.
Family torn. The latest police shooting under investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement unfolded near Fort Lauderdale late Sunday.
The Broward Sheriff's Office revealing this afternoon that the man killed pulled the trigger first, prompting a deputy to fire. NBC6's Marissa Bagg is live at BSO headquarters with the latest on what happened. Marissa?
And Jackie and Jawan, that piece of information given to us just this afternoon from BSO, them saying that the man who was killed here fired his weapon first. Of course, his family, the man's family, crying foul, saying no, that this should have been handled in a completely different way.
He was just such an inspiration. Such a happy man. So full of life. It's such a tragic thing. They killed him.
This woman is talking about her husband, 37-year-old Edward Jarrell Dollison.
He was the best father. He had 9 beautiful children. He loves each and every one of them.
We've blurred video showing him walking out of a home Sunday evening holding a gun to his head. His family says he has mental illness and was using drugs at the time of the shooting.
But he's hallucinating. He's thinking people are going to kill him. He's been up for days.
Broward Sheriff's deputies say when Dollison walked back inside of the house and out of view from this angle, he fired one shot, prompting a deputy to return fire.
It wasn't even a kill, it was an overkill. They need another tactic for people with mental illness. Mental health is real.
This police shooting is at least the 9th in South Florida since July. 5 of them in Broward County, 4 others in Miami-Dade. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is tasked with investigating each one to determine if it is justified. The deputy who shot and killed Dollison is currently on paid administrative assignment, pending further investigation. Now, BSO says after the shooting, they found 2 other guns in the home, and they say one of them had a scratched-off serial number. Now, I did just get off the phone with a former police detective who investigated police shootings for years, talked to him about the frequency with which we're seeing police shootings in recent months, get his take on what's happening ahead at 6 o'clock. We are live here outside of BSO headquarters. Marissa Begg, NBC.
Now flip the lens. Here comes the official story. The polished package delivered by local news. The Broward Sheriff's Office says the man inside pulled the trigger first, and that's what prompted the deputy to fire. But his family, they cry foul, his wife sobbing on camera. He was the best father, 9 beautiful children, always full of life. And they insist he was never a threat to anyone but himself. His name was Edward Jarrellison, and neighbors say he was struggling with mental illness, hallucinations, days without sleep, paranoia driving him to hold a gun to his own head. Yet instead of trained negotiators talking him down, instead of officers disarming a man in crisis, the solution was bullets. His family calls it overkill, and when you watch the footage, you understand why. They went in military style, weapons raised, geared up as if they were entering a war zone, not responding to a father's breakdown. This was not one isolated incident either. This was the 9th police shooting in South Florida since July, 5 in Broward alone, 4 in Miami-Dade, and the number keeps rising. And what makes this sting deeper is the comparison. Just days later in New Hampshire, a white man barricaded himself in a house, shot at officers, held out for 10 hours, and he was taken alive. In Arizona, another man fired shots at police while holding a woman hostage. He too lived to stand before a judge. But here, in Broward, a black man with a gun to his own head, harming no one, doesn't live long enough to see medical help. The system defends it, says more guns were found in the home, says one even had its serial number scratched off. Details that do nothing to explain why deadly force was the first choice. And when the smoke cleared, the deputy walked away with paid leave, a check in his pocket, therapy if he wanted it, while 9 children were left without their father and a wife without her husband. That's the pattern. White suspects who attack police live. Black men in crisis die. And every time a story like this unfolds, trust erodes further. Frustration grows deeper, and communities feel like they're under military occupation, not community policing. The question is simple, but heavy. How long can a people watch death enter their windows before the anger boils over, before voices stop asking questions and start demanding action? That's the reality in Broward County, Florida. And that's why neighbors keep saying it isn't safe. No protection out here unless you protect yourself. And so tonight, we remember Edward Jarrelison, not just as a headline, not just as another case number, but as a husband, a father of 9, a man who deserved help, not bullets. His story is one more reminder that these tragedies are not isolated. They are a pattern, and patterns demand answers. But I can't be the only voice. I want to hear from you. What do you believe is the real solution? How do we stop this cycle? How do we make sure that the next father in crisis gets compassion instead of gunfire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice matters. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be told raw and unfiltered, then stand with us. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, help it reach the people who need to hear it most. Every click, every share, every comment pushes this truth further than the silence they try to bury it in. Together, we can shine a light on what they want left in the dark. Thank you for watching. Thank you for standing with us. And as always, peace, strength, and blessings to you and your families.